And Trisha are gonna kick it off.
Yeah. So welcome everybody.
Hey,
Um,
everybody.
here we are. And
So
we're thrilled. We're so thrilled that you all have joined us for this 7-week journey. Trisha and I are wellness advocates and kindness champions. We started our company BB&R over 20 years ago with the sole purpose of educating people on how to better care for themselves and for those that they love, to create their best lives possible. And that's still our mission today. We reach people through our podcast, which is actually very popular, called Health Gig, where we host engaging conversations in health and wellness. And then through our annual Achieving Optimal Health conference at Georgetown University, where thousands have come to hear experts teach us how to improve our lives, mind, body, and spirit. We also host a wellness experience and partner with the Gasparilla Inn, where over a span of days, people learn the latest in wellness while getting a refresh in a beautiful part of the world where I happen to be right now in Boca Grande, Florida. And we're very proud to lead a compassion project in partnership with the Goodwill, where we distribute healthy meals to those who need them. BB&R is small but mighty. And we're so proud of our team. And two of them are co-creators in Co-Mindfulness, Liz Piccini and Zanka, are here with us for the next 7 weeks. And you'll get to know them and love them. And of course, Trisha and I have been partners in this for over 20 years, and it's been so much fun.
It really has. And so much has changed and happened in these past 20 years. Gosh, even just in this past month itself feels like 20 years. And so many things are different than it was 20 years ago. But Dora and I were having some fun today when we were talking about, where were we 20 years ago? So of course we Googled some things. And Brad Pitt was on the cover of People magazine as the sexiest man alive. And we think he looks pretty good now too.
That was true. And then also, I discovered that green ketchup came on the market 20 years ago. Who knew about that? But anyway, strange things happen.
And is it still here? We don't know. So anyway.
We hope not.
We hope not. But what we can't believe is this, that we are sitting here together on a thing called Zoom, which has become something that we're all familiar with now, during a worldwide pandemic, talking about how the state of relationships actually is the predominant indicator of how long we're going to live and how much happiness we're going to have in this life. And it just also may be the key to creating that health span to match our lifespan. We're hearing so much today about how do we get the lifespan to be full of life, and so that when we die all the way being healthy, rather than having a long lifespan where we might not be spending the last part of our years the healthiest. And we think after you guys study co-mindfulness, you'll see that really co-mindfulness in relationships is probably the thing that's going to bring us together on that. The benefits of co-mindfulness are crazy amazing. They're just crazy. Study after study shows that relationships matter more in our lives and in keeping us healthy than anything else, even eating a healthy diet. But we were also laughing about that too, because we don't want people not to eat healthy, because that is really important. But we would rather see people eating ice cream, laughing and dancing and singing than just sitting over in the corner eating broccoli, because that's not a full life, and that's not going to bring you all the happiness that we know by scientific studies that strong relationships will. And in fact, I think, Liz, you could put the studies in the chat room, because studies after studies show that the solution to our health span is going to be through creating healthy relationships. But we know that relationships are messy, right? They're really messy. And that's kind of where co-mindfulness starts. We start where it's messy. We say, okay, how can we go into our lives, and how can we bring mindfulness off the mat into our life? And by doing that, create a healthier life. Really, it's amazing by these studies. So what I'm saying is this, and you guys are going to hear a lot about this as we go into the master class, that there are studies after studies that show that loneliness is a predictor of early death and early in sadness over alcoholism, obesity, and even smoking cigarettes. I mean, that's just huge, 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 huge. And Dora and I have been teaching and advocating for healthy lifestyles, mind, body, and spirit for many years. And focusing on things like brain health, gut health, heart health, which are really important, right? And we knew that community was also important, but it was our life experiences really in these past 5 years that began to shift our attention or open us up to exploring the role of relationships in a healthy life. We know that 85%, maybe even 90% of all dis-ease in our bodies is caused by stress. And well, oftentimes our relationships are the cause of that. So what happened, Dora?
So hence co-mindfulness was born. Co-mindfulness is being practiced like yoga, like meditation, like running, like hiking, but what makes it unique is that it's rooted in relationships. It's kind of a 2-for-1 thing. Get healthier and happier while improving your relationships. And it just makes a lot of sense. So these next 7 weeks will be a deep dive into how we can become the healthiest versions of ourselves, mind, body, spirit, and relationships. And we're going to have fun. We'll be breaking into groups, walking through the masterclass together, as Tricia mentioned. You'll get a buddy, and you'll also be assigned a coach. And at the end of the 7 weeks, we expect that we'll all have new tools in our toolkit to fast track us to a healthier life. We'll be looking to engage with everyone and everybody, because a chance for a healthy relationship impacts our health 1,000,000 times more than eating tons of salmon, blueberries, and greens. Of course, that's good for you too. But Zenka and Liz will explain exactly how we're going to accomplish this. So first, we want you to meet Liz.
Hi, everyone. Hi there. I got a notice on my computer that I have an unstable connection. So if you have any trouble hearing me, please let me know. With Doro and Tricia, I am super excited that we are able to offer you the 7-week transformational group course, because as studies have shown, you are much more likely to succeed in creating a new habit and experiencing real change in your life if you try to make that change as part of a group rather than alone. This group course is designed to support you in a few different ways. One way is with our group teams. Each of you has been assigned to a small team of 6 to 8 people, with each team led by one of our co-mindfulness coaches. Each week during our Zoom calls on Wednesdays, we're going to break out into our teams to share with each other our experiences and reflections, practicing the 7 co-mindfulness principles. So without further ado, I am now going to announce the teams. Woo-hoo! Okay, in group 1, team 1, Doro's group, we have Becky, Magdalena, Zenya, Sally, Sharon, Katie, Kathy, and Siobhan. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Siobhan, like Chevron with no R.
Siobhan, okay, thank you. In Trisha's group, group 2, we have
Group two.
there she is. We have Jack, Vivian, Grace, Heather, Julie, and Katie. In Liz's group, that's me. We've got Margaret, Michelle, Chuck, Susan, and Martha. And in Zenka's group, group 4, Ginny, Stephanie, Karen, Jane, Eliana, Beth, Kristen, and Alexandra. In addition to the teams, as Doro just mentioned, we've also built into the course a buddy system to further support you in your co-mindfulness practice. So most of you signed up to the course with a friend or a partner who will be your buddy through the course, unless for some reason you'd rather have someone else. If you don't have a buddy for the course, or you would like a new buddy, please contact Zenka and she will connect you with someone. During the course, we ask that you get on a 10 to 15-minute call each weekend with your buddy to check in with each other. You are free to arrange the time, the day and time of your call, Saturday or Sunday. During these calls, you can share with each other your experiences with the practice. You can admit if you haven't been practicing, maybe you want to talk about why you might not be. These calls aren't meant to judge you in any way. They're meant to encourage and support you and to hold you accountable. You keep the calls very short, no more than 15 minutes, out of respect for everyone's time. Something else that we've designed to help hold you accountable to your practice is what we call a Co-Mindfulness daily logbook. Earlier today, Zenka emailed you the logbook. If you've had a chance to look at it or printed it out, and here it is, you'll see that it's designed for you to enter a comment each day during the course. You can say as much or as little as you want. You can jot down just like a quick note to yourself, a couple of sentences, and you can say anything from like, I didn't feel like practicing today. I was too busy. I forgot. I had a breakthrough with my practice. I'm really enjoying this principle, whatever you want. The idea of the logbook is to help hold you accountable so that you're practicing co-mindfulness on most days. It's also intended to help you become more aware of your own engagement or lack of engagement with the principles and why that might be. We also know from the studies that self-reflection is another key component in having success and creating a new habit. So in addition to the logbook, you've also been provided with an online journal where, if you want, you can spend more time reflecting on your practice. The more reflection and self-awareness that you develop around your practice, the more successful you'll be in making your co-mindfulness practice a life habit. And Zenka's going to speak with you some more about the online journal during her presentation. Okay, so the last thing I want everyone to know is that we deeply value your privacy. Everything you say during the course stays in the course. Our coaches are here to ensure that you feel safe to express yourself and are supported. If at any time you don't feel that way, please let them know. We also want you to know that the Co-Mindfulness Sutra platform is a private platform. No one outside of BB&R has access to it. The online journal that has been built into the platform for you is also completely private. You are the only person who has access to your journal. No one on our team can access your journal or see what you're writing. As we learn about co-mindfulness and practice its principles together with our co-mindfulness partner, we will also be practicing co-mindfulness with each other, giving each other our compassion, support, and attention. I'm very, very excited to be sharing this journey with all of you. I thank you for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to Zenka, who's going to explain the class format.
Thank you so much, Liz. Awesome. So I'm going to go through, once again, the teams, just in case I know there was a little bit of an internet situation, and make sure you guys know who your partners are as well. So again, on Doro's team, it's going to be Becky and Magdalena are partners. Azenya and Sally are going to be partners. Sharon and Katty are going to be partners. And Shevin and Kathy are going to be partners. So in Trisha's team, we have, yes, we have, we're going to pick team names today, so you can start thinking of what would be fun. Trisha's is the most fun team, so she's the best. So if you're, okay, so the people in Trisha's team are going to be Jack and Vivian, and Vivian is not going to be with us tonight, but she's really awesome, and she's going to be here next week.
Zenka, can we say hi to little Grace there? Right there.
Yes.
Next to Jack there.
Oh.
Hi, Grace.
Hi. Oh. Awesome. So Grace and Heather are together as well in Trisha's team, and Julie and Katie are going to be in Trisha's team. I don't think Julie and Heather are here, so you're going to have a little bit of a small group tonight. So for Liz, in Liz's team, we're going to have Bryn and Margaret. They're going to be pairing up. Michelle and Chuck are going to be pairing up. Susan and Martha are going to be pairing up. And in my group, we have Ginny and Stephanie pairing up, Karen and Jane pairing up, and Elena and Beth pairing up, and Kristen and Alexandra pairing up. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is that we're going to pick a mindfulness partner. This is going to be someone that you're going to practice with. In this sense, they don't have to know that you picked them, but every time you see or interact with that person, you are going to be practicing that week's principle. So the first week is deep listening, right? So it's going to be giving our full attention, looking at their body language, you know, all those different concepts. So when that person walks through the door, you're going to be focused on not interrupting, asking questions, leading questions, you know, all these kinds of things. So I would like to find out, is anybody, we do not want your buddy to be your partner. So did I announce anybody's buddy that's also their partner? If so, we're going to switch you guys out. But so start thinking, who is going to be your co-mindfulness partner? Who's the one that you want to focus on practicing? Is it someone at work, someone that you live with? Is it your spouse? Is it your child, right? It's got to be someone that you see at least 3 times a week. Okay, so I don't see anybody raising their hand that we have a conflict, so that's great. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to give you a really good rundown of how the platform works that you guys are going to be getting used to, and then we're going to do some breakout groups. So we have designed this whole experience as a flipped classroom. Does anybody know what a flipped classroom is? Anyone want to raise their hand? Okay. I don't see hands, but it's hard for me to flip through all the screens. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit about this incredible concept. So flipped classrooms is where where basically the content, the material that we're going to be giving you guys is going to be given to you during the week, not during class. So you're going to be doing the content whenever you want, right? You know, it can be in the morning, in the evening, whenever is good. And then we're going to use the time that we're together to really connect with each other and learn from each other. There is a guy that won the TEDx prize. Let me just show you here. And he won $1 million for this concept that, you know, children, what he did was he installed a computer in the front of his office, right? And he didn't give any instruction. There was no teachers. And then the kids would just come up to the window and they would work on the computer. And they realized that they were doing DNA replication with no teachers, right? So we've kind of, you know, and this school, for example, they said, no, the teachers give them prompts instead of dictating a lesson, and the students teach themselves. And they all of a sudden were getting 99th percentile in the country. So again, Yale, Harvard, all these people are starting to use this methodology because right now, you guys are going to be your best teacher, right? If you guys are going to embody, you're going to learn from yourself. You're going to learn from each other. And if we just sit back and let someone teach us, we might not learn, right? So that's the way we've designed this program, the way we've designed the materials, the way we designed the breakout is all for you to be self-reflective. You know, when you step out of yourself and notice yourself, like, am I deep listening? What does my body language say? That's where learning happens. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 kind of self-awareness components so you can get out and be your own teacher. One is going to be your weekly buddy check-in. As Liz said, this is not a long conversation. This is 5 minutes for each of you, you know, where you're listening to the other person or you're talking, no more than 15, where you're saying, now the assignment for this weekend is body language on the buddy check-in. So you're going to have a prompt that's going to guide the conversation. So you guys are going to be like really, since doing this class, I always notice people's body language now. Is their body open? Is they closed? Are they looking in the eye? Are they not? You know, so that's going to be your check-in this weekend. And in your breakout groups, you guys can exchange information in the private chat, your phone number. And if not, just text me or just email me and I'll make sure that you guys get in touch with each other if you don't have each other's number. We're also going to have a group discussion chat. This is your team, right? This is where you on the online platform are going to be asked a single reflection question. And I'll show you what that's going to be for this week. But that's so we can learn from each other, right? And it's just a simple thing that you're going to answer. And then, as Liz said, you're going to have the logbook. The logbook is just like, oh, I realized that putting my phone in my purse across the room worked out better during dinner or whatever, right? You know, like, and then you also have a private journal, right? And that private journal is, like Liz said, in the sutra. And this is something, these are more personal questions that we ask you to reflect on. And there's also a printable workbook if you want to just write it in your own journal or in that workbook. So this week, we're going to be doing a lot of content. You are going to spend more time this week on this class than you will the entire 7 weeks. But it's because we want to talk to you next week about what happened with your deep listening, right? So we're going to get you guys started and we're going to get you into the first principle. But this week is also about setting intentions. They say when you are going to create a new habit, because that's what we're going to do, you guys. We are going to absolutely change an important relationship in your life. And we need to decide that we're going to do it. We need to set that intention. And you're going to do that in your setting goals. And I'm going to show you where that is. And you're also going to do it in your initial wellness evaluation. And we are so excited because we're partnering with Healthy Minds at the University of Wisconsin to do an incredible science-backed evaluation. So you guys are going to know by the end of the course what happened with you guys. You know, you're going to have this evaluation, say, did this change my wellness? Because as Tricia and Dora said, your relationships affect your general health, you know, your physical health, right? And this is going to help us get down to the bottom of that and look at that. So it's a little bit long, but it's going to be worth it. And it's going to be amazing for you to have that record at the end. So let me go ahead and share the screen and I'm going to walk you through the platform. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Everybody following along okay? Yeah.
Okay. So actually, before we get into tech, we are going to do something that we're going to repeat in all of our classes, which we're going to spend 1 minute in silence. And you're going to be amazed at how long a minute it is, but it's so fun to do this. And we're going to do it each time. And it's called a drop-in. And I'm going to use the Insight Timer, which is just an app that you can get online. And it's going to chime. And we're just going to become present before we get into all this technology. And we're just going to be in silence. We're just going to be noticing the moment, noticing how we feel, and appreciating the chance we have to be together tonight. So here we go. Okay, everyone. Awesome. So it's amazing how 60 seconds of reset can really make you feel great. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to show you a bit about the platform here. So now everyone should have been able to log in, right? And when you log in, it's going to ask you to upload a picture. If you haven't uploaded a picture, it's kind of good to do that, because then in the group chat, everyone can remember, oh, that's Jane or whoever it is, right? If you didn't upload a picture, you can do it up here in the top. It'll ask you, you can go into settings here and you can upload your photo. You can also affect your email preferences here about how often you want to have that. So when you log in, you're going to see on the left-hand side, this is all your content. This is the flipped classroom content. It's organized by weeks. You're going to have everything you need to do here. There's your group discussion. Now you're going to be just in that group discussion with the 6 to 8 people that are in your small group. And then down here is your private area. This is your like journal question for the week, and also where you're going to do your evaluations and things like that. So no one can see that but you. That's just for you. So like I said, let's just show you what week 2 looks like. So you're gonna, week 2, you're gonna get a little 2-minute video. You're going to have some text. You're going to figure out how to practice, because again, it's a practical class. We're not going to be learning theoretically. We're going to be actually, doing it in our lives and learning. We always put in a fun movie clip. This one's really great. And now you're going to have your prompts, right? So this is the group prompt, what prevents you from staying curious, etc. That's what you're going to answer in the discussion. It's going to also have your buddy call prompt, right? What are you guys going to discuss over the weekend in that 5 minutes each to talk? And then here's your private journal question as well. Then for people that really want to go deep with a certain topic, we have all these resources listed. These can be TED Talks, these can be articles, books, things like that. So and then we're going to see each other next Wednesday. So it really lays everything out that you need to do. Now, in this first week, like I said, we're having a double kind of effort, because we're going to be doing the introduction to what co-mindfulness is. And we're also going to be giving you your first principle of giving our full attention. I want to direct your attention to the important info tab here. So if you ever get confused about what's going on, you go right here, right? So this is our weekly call information, my email, the class link. Actually, this is going to be specific to each of you. So you got that in your email. If you don't know how to log in, you can go to sutra.co, or you can just go to that email. But you should be able to, you'll just stay in, but you can bookmark that tab. We're going to be putting the session archives up, which are password protected. There's the password, kindness. And here's the printables that we talked about, etc. So we just talked about all of these. And here's what we're going to do in week 1. You're going to evaluate your current relationships, pick a co-mindfulness partner. We're going to complete the wheel of relationships today. So you'll have that. You're going to print out your logbook, and you're going to do your initial wellness evaluation. And remember, that's down here on my progress and journal. So I'm going to go boom, I'm going to open it up. And actually it will open with your private evaluation. Now, you are also going to set your goals, and that also is down here in my progress and journal. So clarifying goals and planning self-care. And that's it. Then you're going to jump into giving full attention. This is what the discussion section looks like. So again, it's going to have what you're supposed to do that week. So this week, we're going to share moments when we gave our full attention, and how we drew out our partner, asked questions, made eye contact. How did they react? Or when did you slip back in your old routine, or maybe someone in your life has not given you their full attention in life, and how did that make you feel, right? So you can answer one of those into your group chat. So that's basically it. Does anybody have any questions on the Sutra platform and how those sections work? You could just raise your hand. Okay, cool, you guys. So now we are going to be breaking out into our small groups, and we are going to pick team names. We are going to talk about what principle we're going to ace in the 7 weeks. So what is your ace in the whole? Like which of these principles is something that's going to be super easy for you, and what's going to be the hardest for you? And if we have time in your group, you're going to also talk about who you picked for your mindfulness partner and why you're picking them. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do breakout groups. You're going to have 2 minutes each, and we will see you in about 20 minutes or so for a 10-minute wrap-up.
You notify us, right? So we'll
yes,
be in
I will. And we're doing well on time, so this is good. Okay, here we go.
Great.
So you're just going to accept to move into your group. Susan, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Hi, you guys. Awesome. So,
We're actually in different rooms of our house right now, so this is fun.
Okay. We're the only ones that came back. All breakout rooms will close. They're going to close automatically. So that's.
I'm going to bring my husband too. I'm going to
Oh,
try.
yay. Okay, good.
Cool.
I told him this is cheaper than our last marriage counseling session.
Oh yeah. This is the real deal, man.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are.
Hi guys.
People.
My name's Julie. I apologize. I was logging on late. I thought it was started at 7:30. I think I missed the chat room, but I really look forward to this opportunity.
Okay, great. Thank you, Julie. You're with Trisha's team. I'm gonna post the video on
Oh,
here, so
good.
hear that. But yeah, the breakout groups were a lot of fun. So all right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have the coaches just give kind of a summary of what happened in the breakout groups. It won't always be the coaches doing the reporting, but for tonight we're gonna kind of show you how this works. In my group, let me get everyone here. So in my group, we are the transformational titans.
Oh, good one.
You can call us Titans for short. You can call us TT.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and we had a resounding kind of theme in our group, which was that we all are multitasking addicts. So the first week, it's going to totally be the hardest for us. So that's good. We're going to start with the hardest thing for us. And then the last week, we're just going to cruise because everyone is so loving in my group. So that's something that comes really easy to us. So that was what happened with us. All right, Trisha, what happened?
Okay. Our group is going to be known as the Co-Mindfulness crew.
Nice.
And we had a little discussion and we're like, okay, we liked it because crew made it sound like we're a group. Grace described it that way. And so we thought that was really good. Cool. And we've got a really great group because everybody is very curious as to how this is going to play in their lives. And we had a little bit extra time too, because there were just a few of us. So we got to sort of know a little bit about each other a little bit more. And everybody is awesome. Everybody picked who they're going to partner with. And there was discussion as your buddy is someone different than your actual co-mindfulness partner. So we talked a little bit about that. Yeah, so it was great. And we're really excited.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Liz, why don't you go next? Like, what's your team name?
Our team name is Mindful Mavericks.
Oh, good.
Love it.
That was a suggestion from Margaret, and our team was all on board.
Cool.
And it's interesting because, like Zenka, you pointed out that your team seems to have like maybe a similar issue. And I think for our team too, it seemed like lots of people were mentioning feeling maybe challenged with the breathing to avoid reacting, our expectations. So there seemed to be like a commonality, which was really wonderful, because then we get to really like support each other, and maybe what's going to turn out to be, you know, the most difficult part of our practice, and connecting with love. That will hopefully we'll sail through that too.
Nice,
That was great.
nice. Doro.
Yes, so our team may have to go back to the drawing board on the name. Basically because we're calling ourselves the Transformers.
That's so good.
Oh, cool.
No, but I mean, I know it's like half your name. It's like,
No, that's fine. We're the Titans.
That's okay. That's okay. But my group is wonderful. We're coast to coast. So we have East Coasters, we have California represented, and Florida, and a lot of DC. And we talked a lot about the principles that were going to be challenging for us and that scared us the most. And so we all picked mostly different ones. So we're going to learn a lot from each other. And we also, I have to say, we've already are working on them. I got somebody in our group, somebody who remains nameless in our group, is afraid of committing to the truth. And then someone else in our group already came up with some good teaching and learning about that. And all right, it was me that was afraid of committing to the truth. But I've already learned that I don't have to tell the whole. Becky was great and explained to me that you don't have to explain everything. And anyway, long story. But I've learned a lot already. That's all I can say. And yeah, so I love my group, and I'm thrilled.
Cool. Yeah, you know, you guys, we've done this course many times, and the committing to the truth one was always the thing that no one was checking. Like, it was just like, that was the one that nobody wanted to deal with. And I have an expert in my group, Alexandra, that's like her ace in the hole. That's the thing she does well. So it's like, she was already teaching us. So it's like really cool. So we'll have to share our wisdom across all the teams. It's really great to have her joining us. So, okay, so we just have a few minutes. We may go slightly over tonight, but I doubt by much, because we're always going to keep to a schedule of just a single hour. And then we'll always have 15 minutes at the end if anybody wants to stay on and has questions like, okay, I can't figure this out. So again, this week is going to be very challenging because you're going to have double the load that you normally have. It's a lot of like thinking. We plan to spend a full hour, you know, just going through the evaluations, reading through the stuff. It's a lot of stuff this first week. And then next week, it's going to take you not more than 20 minutes to read through the content. So just know that. If you can do it in the next couple of days, that's great. So you can have your buddy call and already be talking about what's going on. So what you're going to do is, if you don't have this printed out, you can get it now. But basically, we're going to write in each of the pizza slices someone in your life, and you're going to fill out where you think the relationship is. So if it's doing, you know, really well, there's going to be more color. If it's not doing so well, it's going to, if you're not really satisfied with it, it's going to have a little color. Okay, we're going to do this at the end of the course too. So you'll have that. So why don't we spend 4 minutes, and then we're just going to have a closing with Trisha and Dora. We're going to talk about our weekly meditation that you guys are invited to if you want to on Sunday. We'll talk about how to do that, and Liz is going to have a few final words. So go ahead and just do that wheel. So you just write in 8 people in your life and kind of see where you're at with that. And you can also add yourself as one of the things as well, because that's going to be, we're going to talk about how that important that is too. So if you want to add yourself as a pie slice, you can.
Do you have suggestions on people to include?
Your parents, friends, coworkers. If you don't have all the way around you, that's fine too. Just put the important ones that you want to kind of like, how is this relationship doing? What is my relationship health at this point with them? So it could be coworker, spouse.
Can you put children?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay, guys. So you'll have more time to do that if you haven't finished, but just wanted to everyone to, get a feel for it, right? You're going to put your people and kind of how they fit. And so Dora and Tricia, do you have any final words? Tell them about the podcast and the meditation.
Yes.
Well,
Or do you want to start and explain what we do on Sunday nights?
yes, on Sunday nights, which might be a nice support for this group, we host a Sunday night guided meditations, and it's from 8 to 8:20. And each week, the guided meditation addresses a different topic. It might be stress, it may be sleep or gratitude, or just about anything. And this week, the meditation is going to be observing the wandering mind, which we know our mind wanders and all the time, and that's okay. That's okay. But this is a guided practice for helping to let our thoughts float by and learning to just observe them without judgment and with love. And so that'll be this Sunday. And Zenka, how do they sign up?
Yeah, so I just put in the chat, you guys. It's actually on this same Zoom that you logged in for class. So if you need to, you can just use this Zoom, same link. But if you want to sign up to get a little reminder, with the Zoom link, it makes it easier if you want to tell your friends. It's become a really popular thing. Dora was going to do this for 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden for the pandemic, like, oh, we're going to do this nice thing for the community. And then it's just like gone on and on and on because people are really crave it and they really love it. So it's just this 20-minute thing where we just take some time on Sunday. You can also, so the link there is where you can sign up. And then we also have all the archives up on YouTube and on Spotify. So yeah, and it's in the signature line when we send you emails. So if you need to find it there.
And as Dora said, it would be a really nice way to, again, be part, create our community and join us, because we would love to have everybody there. And then on Wednesdays, we have our podcast. And today, actually, Dr. Low Dog was on our podcast. If you haven't heard Health Gig, yes, right, Margaret?
Wow.
She's like, you got to listen to the podcast, okay? Margaret, how would you describe her?
Oh my gosh, she's like a Renaissance woman. She is.
She's great.
She was doing what we're doing today, she was doing 30 years ago, but she's so unassuming. But she in a way, to me, she's like a female Deepak Chopra. Yeah. With that medical background in herbs, and she is just one amazing human being.
Amazing. And she doesn't go on a lot of podcasts because she's very busy, and she does. So we were really honored to have her on our podcast. So please listen to that. And then next Wednesday, so maybe it'll drop in the morning, and I don't know if people will have time. I know there's a lot of work to do, but Dr. Richie Davidson is joining us. And so I think if we could just take a minute, that's Dr. Low Dog, Tiarona Low Dog, incredible. And when you look her up, you'll start seeing the work that she's done. And then next week, again, as I mentioned, is Dr. Richie Davidson, who we are particularly excited to introduce to everybody. If you don't know who he is, and Liz, I know you know everything about Dr. Richie Davidson. So you want to tell everybody his background, and then we can tell them how he's working with us. Oh, is Liz still there? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Yes, I am a huge fan of Dr. Richard Davidson. So he's a psychiatrist at the University of Wisconsin, and many years ago, back in the 1970s, he started his career studying depression and anxiety and stress, what every psychologist and psychiatrist at the time was studying. He had a meeting with the Dalai Lama, who said, who asked him the question, why do you scientists always study the negative aspects of the human personality? Why don't you study kindness and compassion and happiness? So that was it. That conversation changed the course of his career. He's been studying it ever since. And he did many years ago the groundbreaking study of doing MRI scans of monks, longtime practitioners, meditators, brain scans of the brains as they were meditating. And he was recognized internationally for his work. He still is. He's really at the forefront of the science of well-being. And you'll come to see that his app is included as part of our course at the end, his Healthy Minds app, which he makes available for free to people. And and as mentioned earlier by Zenka, Richie's wellness evaluation is what we're using. So we're really bringing now, we have this extraordinary opportunity to really bring the real science, his expertise and the expertise of his team at Healthy Minds to evaluate our Co-Mindfulness program. So yes, phenomenal. Very, very excited. He's a tremendous guy, and he's the podcast.
And he's also our partner, Zenka, right? I mean, he's going to be a big part of Co-Mindfulness because he just really believes in it. So if you don't know who he is, do look him up, listen to the podcast, because he is going to be a big part of where Co-Mindfulness is going. Zenka, anything else that they should know?
No. So yeah, if you're on Apple Podcasts, just search for Health Gig Podcast. You'll find it. Again, you can find it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
I'd love to add a couple of more things. So Richie Davidson in his work has identified 4 pillars of well-being, one of which is connection, which is where Co-Mindfulness comes in. And then Dora and Trisha also did another recent interview at their conference this past year, their Zoom conference, with Vivek Murthy, who is now the Surgeon General with the Biden administration, who recently wrote a book called Togetherness. It's an amazing book. And he too, in his years as a Surgeon General, really came to appreciate how important our relationships and social connections are to our health. So if you want to just kind of supplement what you're learning now here in the course, I would definitely encourage you to listen to their really fantastic interview with him, which is on their podcast now.
It was really,
and his book is fantastic too.
He's a genius.
So that's the idea, guys. We're really looking to find all different kinds of ways to support you in this next 7 weeks. So certainly reach out to us if there's any questions. Zenka's given her emails, anything from a technical questions to just even some thoughts that you're having. Really encourage you to use the chat to discuss in our groups what's coming up for you. And remembering to touch base with your buddy on the weekends. Anything else, Zenka?
Yeah, if you haven't exchanged phone numbers with your buddy, you can do it in a private chat by clicking the 2 and then finding your buddy's name, and then, or just sending me an email. So great, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and close. So if anybody needs to stay on to ask a question, they can. Otherwise, good luck practicing and getting through the big hump of material that we're gonna start you out with.
Zenka, do you want to close with one more minute of just silence, and then we can say goodbye?
So yeah, sure, that's fine. And we'll do that at the start for the next time. So yeah, I'm going to pull out the insight timer, and we'll just do one more minute. It'll be 60 seconds, so we'll start. We'll have that cushion for the rest of our evening. Here we go. you know, Trisha has a wearable, and she actually told me, she's like, oh my gosh, it says that on the days that I meditate, I sleep better. I'm like, really?
So true. It's so true. Very, very
you guys,
true.
thanks so much for joining us. You guys, we're excited to get to know everybody and get through this incredible transformation together.
Yes.
you.
Good night. As we said,
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
so good to be with everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Xenia, are you, oh, she's not on anymore. I just see this direct message. She wanted a little tutorial on Zoom, but I think a lot of people got through it.
This is Siobhan. I haven't
Thank you
figured
so
out.
much.
Hi, Sean.
Can I invite someone to participate even though they would have missed the one?
Yeah, so because we did a 2-for-1. So if you haven't gotten to invite someone and you still want them to come, we'd love to have them.
Okay. I was thinking of people that might enjoy participating as it was happening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are partners with Kathy, but we could put you with your partner, and then we'll put Kathy with someone else because we had someone in mind for her anyway.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. So you can be that person's partner that you're bringing on, and you
Okay.
just send me their info, and I will get them totally set up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask. I mean, I don't know if they'll be interested, but I will. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome.
And I'm excited about this. Thank you guys very much.
Cool.
Have a good night.
Hey, Margaret.
I don't have a buddy. So
Okay.
I'll email you. You don't have to take time now.
You're with Bryn.
Oh, she's my buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay.
No. You guys
I thought that was part. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, it's a little bit confusing, the names we use. So the buddy, she's not your partner. She's your buddy. And then your partner is who you're practicing with. That's how we're going to differentiate. So
this was terrific. You did, everybody, great job. This is going to be really, it's very meaningful.
Yay. Trisha, you're on mute. Trisha. We can't hear.
Oh, I said we're so happy Margaret's here because she's like the best. And
I know. I've heard so many good things about you, Margaret.
Oh,
it's like,
thank
yay,
you.
Margaret.
We went to school together, Margaret.
Thank you. But truthfully, I have to tell you what the world went through last year, and it might be we all need this, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, in your job, in your personal life, I mean, it's just everything is like chaos around, and we just have to find that mindfulness in that crazy chaos.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
And Trisha, the other thing, I was so happy to hear all of us IIN graduates, we know about the primary foods.
Yes.
And this is it.
This is it. This is so it.
Yeah. I mean, if you get this, your health, you're so right. The health span, this is your health.
It so is. It's so funny because everything's health span, lifespan, and this is it. Like it is.
I mean, and if you have healthy relationships, okay, we're not saying go eat chocolate chip cookies, but if you have awful relationships, I'm telling you, you're going to be diseased.
Right.
That's what causes cancer. It causes I won't go into it, but I think this is so, I mean, everybody in the country from 5-year-old to 105, they need this.
Yeah, they do. Thanks, Margaret.
Yeah.
And Margaret's great. And one thing once we get this going, let's not forget the children, because I think starting off children, I mean, we all know, those of us that have young adults, I think, 20s and 30s, they need it. Those of you that have teenagers and with school and everything, they really, really need it. And the younger kids can you imagine being stuck in front of a computer instead of that social interaction?
I know.
know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
would
thank you,
definitely
thank you.
want to take this to universities
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
does the Healthy Minds. They're like, yeah, this has
Yeah.
to be, part of your
Yeah,
education.
and I think being partnered with Dr. Davidson is like unbelievable.
We can't believe
Yeah.
it.
So
We just
Yeah.
can't.
exciting.
We're so
Yeah.
excited.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to be part of this group, and
Thanks,
Yay.
Margaret.
I'm very
Thank
excited.
you, Margaret.
Peace to
Yay.
all of you. Have a
Thanks.
wonderful
You
evening.
too. And I think
Okay.
Julie's still-
Virtual hugs.
Yeah, exactly. Is Julie on? Does she have a?
I am. I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Oh, Julie, thank you.
Awesome.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry that I thought it was 7:30. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. You're in my group, right, Zenka?
Yep.
Yep.
You had the one where people weren't here tonight. So
Yes.
we
So
were
Julie,
checked,
really
sorry.
looking forward to having you in our group.
Yeah, me too. And Katie already texted me because we work together. And
That's
so
what she
we work in
said.
different departments, but we
Cool.
know each other. So we already have planned to talk tomorrow. So we'll have plenty to talk about. So
That's
this will be really good.
so good. And you'll pick up. So she understands that. So Julie, you need to pick a partner, right? But
Julie's with Katie. So you guys are together already. That's perfect. And then you'll pick a partner to practice with. And I will send out the recording.
Okay, that's
to
what I was going to
everyone.
ask
So,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'll send it out. And then it's also always in the space for it's always in that important information.
good.
Oh,
So
important
we're
information.
so
Okay.
excited you're here because we really love your company and
I know.
everything and like what you guys do.
You're
and
so sweet. I'm
everything.
so excited to be working with you guys. This is an incredible opportunity. So yeah,
Yay.
thank you so much. Appreciate it a lot.
Cool, Julie.
All right, well, I'll watch for the recording then.
Okay.
So it'll come,
Okay.
does it come in the email or you just log on to the lesson one?
Yeah, you'll
Or
just
the
log
week
on.
one?
Well, I'll send it out. I'll send it out to everyone just to say that it's up, and then where to find them.
Oh, okay, got it.
But normally you can just always go to the important info and you'll see the link and the password. So.
And then if I understood correctly, I have Katie as my partner, but then I need to find a buddy to practice with. Is that correct?
The wording is the opposite. So Katie's your
Opposite, okay.
accountability buddy, right? She's the one you're going to talk to for 10 minutes on the weekend to say like, oh gosh, I was practicing or I noticed this or whatever, right? And then your partner, which we explained is basically, so we don't want this to be theoretical. We want you to practice. So you pick one person in your life, could be your son, could be your husband, could be your coworker, someone you see more than 3 times a week. And then every time you see that person, you have to practice deep listening this week. No interruptions, drawing them out with questions, letting them speak, looking at their body language, looking at your body language. So that's just like a reminder to practice. When you see them, that's your reminder for that week. Yeah. And you can tell them or not tell them. It's up to you. So you can say you're my partner or not, right? They don't have to know. We had one girl, she's like, I'm not going to tell my husband. I'm like, okay.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. Okay, cool. All right, sounds like a good plan. All right,
Cool,
thank you so
Julie.
much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a great night. Thanks for staying on with me.
No problem.
All right, have a good night. Talk to you later.
Ciao.
Okay, Dora's come. Oh, bye-bye, Julie. Dora was just going to come back on as well. So hold on one